All right, so our new chapter that we're going to start today is the chapter number 2, biological molecules. Can you tell me what are the main biological molecules that make up our body?
Like carbohydrates, proteins, fat.
Exactly, good. In this chapter, you will learn what? Describing how large biological molecules are made from smaller molecules. Then we are going to describe the structure of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins and how their structure relates to their functions. And then we're going to describe and carry out biochemical tests to identify carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. And then we're going to explain some key properties of water that make life possible. So we have carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, water that we are going to study over here. So before we start, atoms join together to make molecules. We know that. Okay? A lot of carbon, hydrogen atoms are going to make molecules, and some of them, for example, a lot of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atoms join together by covalent bonds. All of these atoms joining covalently are going to, form different molecules. For example, methane, water, ethanol, they are all covalently bonded with each other. They were different atoms. CH4 is made up of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Water is made from hydrogen oxygen atoms. C2H5OH is made up of three types of atoms. Then we have ammonia, ethanoic acid. So these are all molecules and they are made by covalent bonding because they are all non-metals and different atoms are bonded. So what is biochemistry? Biochemistry looks at the chemical reactions of biological molecules, and the sum total of all biological reaction in the body is known as metabolism. You may think that biochemistry is a complicated subject, but it has underlying simplicity. Now, where does bio come in? Biomolecules. And where does chemistry come in? They are bonded covalently. So the bonding, the structure, the makeup, how our bonds form, broken to produce new molecules, new types of biological molecules, that breaking bonds and everything is also chemistry. So that is why we are going to talk about this whole section comes under the subdomain of biochemistry, but it has an underlying simplicity as well. For example, only 20 common amino acids are used to make proteins, whereas theoretically, they could be millions. Having a limited variety of molecules makes it easier to control metabolism as well. And another feature of biochemistry is the close link between the structures of molecules and their function, which we are also going to study in your chapter 3, enzymes. So, are you clear what is biochemistry?
Yeah.
Now, what do we mean by building blocks of life? Can you tell me?
Like the basic molecules that build up
Yeah.
like into more complex molecules
What
that
were
we
those
survive
molecules?
on. Carb, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
Exactly. So the four most common elements, if we talk about, that are there in living organism according to their abundance. Hydrogen is in the most abundance, okay? Then carbon, then oxygen, and then the least amount is nitrogen. They account for more than 99% of the atoms found in all living things. So you are made up of 99% of hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. Carbon is particularly important because carbon atoms can join together to form long chains or ring structures. They can be thought of as the basic skeletons of organic molecules. And what does organic molecule mean? This is very important. Organic molecule means whatever contains carbon is an organic molecule, or sometimes also hydrogen as well. These are the two basic elements that make up an organic molecule. Other atoms with different functions are attached to carbon skeletons. So basic, the backbone is the carbon. It is also believed that before life was evolved, there was a period of chemical evolution in which simple carbon-based biological molecules evolved from even simpler molecules. The simple biological molecules are relatively limited in variety and they act as the building blocks for larger complex biological molecules. So life is made of simple biological molecules which join together to form complex biological molecules. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the difference between monomers, polymers, and macromolecules?
Monomer is like one molecule, and then polymer is like many of them like join together, and then macromolecules are like larger polymers joined together.
Exactly. A macromolecule is a giant molecule. And there are three types of macromolecules in living organisms, including polysaccharides, proteins, and nucleic acids. A macromolecule is a large macromolecule such as polysaccharide, protein, or nucleic acid. For example, polysaccharides are made from for example, monomers would be the glucose. Glucose is going to make a polymer, let's say starch, and these starch molecules are basically great macromolecules, polysaccharides. Okay, there's a monosaccharide, it forms a disaccharide, disaccharides form polysaccharides. Proteins are also macromolecules. There are many types of proteins that we'll study, including primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary proteins, and they are made up of amino acids. Nucleic acids are also a kind of polynucleotides. Why? They are made up of many types of nucleotides: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, uracil. Okay, these are the different monomers that make up this huge polynucleotides as well. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So the words polysaccharides, polypeptides, and polynucleotides all contain the term poly. Poly means many, mono means one. And macromolecules are described as polymers because they are made up of many repeating subunits that are similar or identical to each other. The subunits are called monomers, and monomers are joined together by covalent bonds, which are the atoms are joined by sharing electrons. We know that how would monomers link together? Monomers are going to link together by covalent bond. And once they link by covalent bond, they make up a whole polymer. Now, covalent bonds are relatively strong bonds. Examples you will learn will type of three types of bond in your syllabus. One covalent bond is known as glycosidic. Glycosidic is the bond which are formed in carbohydrates. Then we'll talk about ester bonds, the second type. This is there in lipids. And then the third type is known as peptide bond. Peptide bonds are found in proteins. Is it clear?
Yeah.
If this basics is clear, trust me, you have to ask questions. If these basics are not clear, that what are the types of monomers, polymers, bonds, what is a hydrolysis reaction, what is a condensation reaction, you won't get the upcoming topics. Okay? So you have to be very careful when we talk about the introduction and basics. So there are three types of covalent bonds that are mainly present in our bodies. Many biological polymers from monomers is relatively simple because the same reaction is repeated many times. The reaction involves joining together two monomers by the removal of a water molecule. We call it a condensation reaction. And the opposite reaction is adding water, which breaks down the polymer again. We call it hydrolysis. So let's say monomer plus monomer forms polymer. Now, monomer plus monomer, you are removing water. When we remove water, this is known as a condensation reaction. And if you want to break this polymer back into the two monomers, you will have to add water. And what is that process called?
Hydrolysis.
Exactly. Is this clear? Because this is going to come in all next topics. How are glucose form, glycogen form, starch, cellulose, esters, triglycerides, they're all formed by condensation. And if you want to return and you want to reverse the reaction, it's called as hydrolysis. Condensation is the removal of water, whereas hydrolysis is the addition of water. And you will meet many examples of condensation and hydrolysis in this chapter. And the monomers from which polysaccharides, proteins, and nucleic acids are made are monosaccharides, amino acids, and nucleotides respectively. So these are the types of monomers. ठीक है, जैसे कि amino acids are monomers, they are going to make a polymer protein. Nucleotides are monomers, they are going to make the polymer nucleic acids. That can be your DNA as well. ठीक है, that can be your RNA as well. Got it?
Yeah.
We are also going to see the role of fatty acids and glycerol. When they both combine, they make up lipids. So cellulose and rubbers are also examples of naturally occurring polymers. There are many examples of industrially produced polymers such as polyester, polythene, polyvinyl chloride. These are something that you'll study with me in chemistry as well. Our very last chapter, organic chemistry, there's a chapter polymerization in your 9701 chemistry syllabus. So we'll be doing these over there as well. That is also the same examples that how these carbon-based monomers are joined by thousands of carbon atoms joined end to end and they form polymers. Let's now look at some of the small biological molecules such as monosaccharides. जैसे कि fatty acids हो गए, they are going to join together with glycerol to produce lipids. Amino acids are also monosaccharides. ठीक है, they are going to form what? नहीं, sorry. Amino acids are monomers. So monosaccharides make up carbohydrates. Fatty acids make up lipids. Amino acids make up protein. So, and then larger molecules of it, monosaccharides make up carbohydrates, fatty acids make lipids, amino acids make protein. Remember this. Got it?
Saccharides like glucose.
What?
Or is glucose a monosaccharide?
Yep. How do you know that? Exactly. Glucose, fructose, galactose, they are monosaccharides. And we'll be studying that how glucose combine to form maltose. Remember? You have done this in
Oh,
IGCSE as well.
okay.
There are 2 to 3 types that we have in carbohydrates when we start that. Today is just the basics one. We have monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide, and we are going to do all combinations. For example, uh, we have 3 types of monosaccharide, right? Glucose, fructose, and galactose. When glucose combine, they form maltose. When glucose, fructose combine, they form sucrose. When glucose, galactose combine, they form lactose. So there are all disaccharides as well, and then they are going to further make your polysaccharides as well. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Let me show you one thing.